This is Internet Marketing. Brought to you by SiteVisibility at SiteVisibility.co.uk. This is Internet Marketing. Now, before we start today, we'd like to encourage anyone looking for help with their digital marketing to get in touch with SiteVisibility. Whether you have a burning digital marketing question or you're looking for an agency to work with, they'd love to hear from you. Give them a call, +44 1273 733 433, or you can fill out the form at sitevisibility.co.uk/contact. Alternatively, you can talk to either Scott or Sean via the live chat function on the site. They'd be happy to help. Now, today I'm joined by Bastian Ernst, founder of Wild Audience, and you're based in Barcelona, aren't you, Bastian?
That's correct, Annie. That's correct.
And I have to ask, because it is a bit of a tradition on this podcast, what's the weather in Barcelona right now?
It's actually super hot.
Is it?
I was just before I went to work, I went to the beach. There's like a little, gym right at the beach, and I always go there in the morning and do my workout. You look at the ocean, it's super fun.
Oh, wow, that sounds amazing. I must come down. I have been to Barcelona, actually, but it was quite a while ago. Now, I'm quite thrilled to be talking today because, we'll get onto that in a minute. But before we get into the nuts and bolts of why we're having a chat today, and respect-based marketing, which is what you do, tell us a little bit about yourself and Wild Audience.
Yeah, sure. So I run a company called Wild Audience. Wild Audience is known for two things. The first thing is respect-based marketing, and the second thing is relationship funnels. Okay?
Yeah.
Relationship funnel is basically a sales funnel, a sales process that uses respect-based marketing, right? And that's the two things we do, and that's how we make our money. That's what we help other people to implement. We're loving it.
Now, in a minute, I'm going to ask you to tell us about your journey and how you got there. But just before we do that, I'm just interested in, from your mindset, what's sort of wrong with the established marketing methods, particularly sort of online marketing methods today, in your opinion?
Yeah. Before I was doing what I do now, which is respect-based marketing, I was pretty much doing what everyone else is still doing and did in the past. Basically, I was doing marketing. I was relying on discounts, on promotions, weekly promotions, monthly promotions. I took excuses like day of happiness and day of X and day of Y just to run another promotion, just to keep revenue afloat and coming in, right?
Yes.
I was using urgency, I was using scarcity, count-on timers, I was doing product launches, and the best thing was I was doing everything at the same time, right? So it was very much dependent on these launches and promotions and high-pressure sales tactics. And remember very vividly, this one sales promotions which I did, and it just didn't work out since my monthly revenue was dependent on these promotions. I was screwed. My entire revenue was screwed. I couldn't pay my people and so on. I was like, okay, never, ever again. I want to, move away from these promotions and high pressure sales tactics because it just didn't feel like me. I just didn't want to use that anymore. And instead, I wanted to try something else. And that's basically evergreen marketing, right? Evergreen systems, evergreen sales process, letting people buy your products and services 24/7, 365. And then instead of using, high pressure sales tactics, we use something else. We base our marketing on never changing elements, business elements like relationship, trust, authority, buying beliefs. And then we combine this with super fun, smart funnel automation. And that's when we get super awesome results, right? We get email open rates and click-through rates, which are 10, 20x the norm. We, instead of converting at 0.5% or 1%, we convert at 6, 7, 8, 10%, right? And these are not our numbers. These are audience numbers. And the reason for that is, we just don't do what most people do. We don't rely on these fake scarcity tactics, but instead we have our foundation in relationships, trust, authority, and buying beliefs.
I'm interested in the steps that I keep saying your journey. How long did it take you to realize that you were sort of doing the wrong approach? What are the sort of key points in your journey into this mode of marketing?
Yeah, the transition took some time because, there wasn't something out since we coined the term respect-based marketing, we got the URL and everything. It was just something I discovered over time and just put one piece in after each other and removed some of the old stuff step by step until we had, an enter new process, which is basically what we can talk about in a couple of minutes. But it's the awesome stuff about it is that people actually enjoy being sold to. The number one reason why people become our clients and customers is they go through our sales funnel or through our relationship funnel, and they're like, wow, I want to have the same exact sales experience I want to offer to my tribe, to my people as well. That's the number one reason why people become our customers, because they really enjoy it. And that's how you move minds, thoughts, and also wallets, right? And that's what we do with respect-based marketing.
Yeah.
And it was a journey which took some time, of course.
Now let's get into the essence of the approach, because you talked about, what was the term you used? Was it relationship funnel, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm really interested in that. What's the difference between a relationship funnel and a normal funnel? I know this sounds very slightly dodgy, but we're talking in terms of marketing machines here, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, the main difference is that we are fueled by respect-based marketing, and the way it works, a sales funnel optimizes to sell, right? That's the goal of a sales funnel. A relationship funnel optimizes for something else. We optimize for two things. The first thing is we want to get the right people engaged with us in our content. So engagement is key for us, getting the right people engaged. The first thing we optimize for. The second thing is we optimize our whole relationship funnel to install buying beliefs, because a sales process is a reflection of your belief system, right? And that's what we do. So we focus on these two things. Once we do this, everything else takes care of itself.
Now, you mentioned about automation as well, which I found rather interesting. I know you may not want to go into sort of a lot of detail, but what's the essence of how automation comes into this process?
Yeah, so the way it works is like this. So imagine you have a company, right? So you have your own company, and basically what you want to do is you want to make people aware that your product or service exists. You want to establish a relationship. You want to get them to pull up their credit card and pay you money. And then you want to get them to tell all their friends about you, right? Mm-hmm. So how do we do it, right? So usually we need some sort of traffic. This could be, there are 19 different traction channels. You choose your traction channels. For example, let's say paid advertising like Facebook ads. Okay, it's a simple example. That's why we're going to choose this. So you run your ads on Facebook, right? You're going to send people somewhere, right? Yeah. And we send them to a PDF, right? It's called a lead magnet in marketing language. And basically the idea is there are lots of people hanging out on Facebook, and we want to start controlling the traffic. We want to start controlling conversation, because if you just have a Facebook page, an Instagram page, a YouTube channel, and we have lots of likes and people commenting, if Facebook, YouTube, or Google changes the algorithm, you are dependent on them, right? Yeah. You may lose your reach. What you want to do is you want to take the traffic from all these platforms and put it into your pocket. You want to change or turn traffic that you don't control into traffic that you do control. And the way to do it is through the key, which is the email address. Okay. Yeah. So you want to collect email addresses, and the way to do it is through an exchange. And that exchange is, hey, you have this problem. You know what? I've created this free PDF to help you solve the problem, right? Yeah. In order to get it, they need to sign up with their email address. But we don't stop there. That's how everyone does it, right? So we use something what is called lead opt-in bucketing, right? And that's basically, we tell them, hey, we have this awesome PDF, right? And if you want it, just tell us what your biggest problem right now is, so that we can send you our best ebook, our best PDF, right? So that they have a single choice of 4 or 5 options. They click their biggest problem, then they enter the email address and first name. And then on the thank you page, it says, hey, thanks for signing up for the PDF. It's on your way. You know what? I've created a 6-lesson course. It's for free, and it helps you to solve problem X. And guess what? Here we customize and personalize the content on the website, which says exactly what they just told us. They told us when they sign up, I have problem X, and then we tell them, hey, I have a free course. It helps you to solve problem X. And what we do here is we're getting people to micro-invest. We want to get them to raise their hands, opt in, right? Yeah. Because once you do this, they opt in. They decide, yes, I want to be part of this email sequence. Because what everyone does is they send, they get people with a lead magnet into their funnel, and then they send automated emails. Email 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't do it. We ask for permission. We get them to raise their hand and invest into our email sequence, into our free course, right? Yeah. So now we do this. We tell them, hey, there's a free course. You want to be part of it? Yes, I want to be part of this. All right, before they can be part of it, they need to go through a course onboarding process, which is basically a survey of 4 questions. And what we want to know is we want to know their problem. We want to know their goal, so that we can then create an email sequence which bridges the gap from the goal, from the problem to the goal, right? So we ask them 4 to 5 questions. we take the data, we collect the data and put it into our ESP. That could be ActiveCampaign, Infusionsoft, and whatnot, right? Drip, right? We store the data there. Now we have data, right? We know exactly what their problem is, what their goal is, and now we can just fill in the blanks in our funnel. Hey, you told us you have problem X. You told us you have goal X or Y, right? And then we put the messaging into our funnel, into our emails, into our bot messages, into Facebook ads, and so on, right? We customize and personalize the experience. Once you do this inside the emails, right? So John's email is going to be different than Mary's email. It's the same email, but we use custom content inside of the emails to be personal based on what they just told us, right? And what we do here is we send them relevant content based on data. And the goal here is to install buying beliefs. When I say, all right, what is a buying belief? What the hell is a buying belief? Right? So, what is that, right? So let's chat about it. Really important. You as the business owner, someone who sells something, a service or product, you got to think about the following question. The question is the following. What does my ideal customer needs to believe before he or she can accept the desire or need of my product or service, right? So what are the things they need to believe? If they don't believe one or two out of all of these beliefs, they won't be able to pull up the credit card and pay you money, right? So you gotta take a piece of paper and pen, write down all these beliefs, and then put them into your emails, put them onto your landing pages, put them onto your sales page, and so on. So they go through the flow, through the funnel, and while they consume your content, which is educational content, valuable but not incomplete, right? You don't want to give away everything. While they read that, they install all these buying beliefs, okay? All these buying beliefs gets installed. And then once they are, after email 7 or 4, they then see an offer, right? And instead of just, pushing the offer right after sign up, hey, you just sign up, you want to buy this? We first go them through a buying belief installing process, right? And then once they see the sales page, the webinar, the sales call, whatever the conversion event is, boom. You talk to someone who has already all buying beliefs installed, who believes that what you have is what they need, right? Now think about the sales conversation. It's going to be very easy, right? And that's what we do.
So it sounds, in essence, like you've got a sort of a system that attempts to bespoke itself for the needs of the client, but which also uses the psychology of the client. Would that be a fair description?
Yeah, we combine human psychology with smart funnel automation, right?
Yeah.
That's what we do.
So I'm guessing that there might be quite a few different possible paths in your sales funnel. Does it, I said funny then, funnel. Does it get quite complicated to track?
So basically, these tracks are called buckets, right? And we put people into buckets after sign up. So when we ask them, hey, do you have problem X, Y, Z, or whatever? So there are 4 different questions. Each problem reflects a group of people, and this group of people, the name for that is called bucket, right? And instead of just writing, an email sequence is 7 emails, let's say, right? And bridges the gap from problem to goal and sends them to the sales page in the end. Instead of now writing 4 different email sequences for each bucket, we have 1 email sequence, but then in each email, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 sentences, we make dynamic, meaning it's customized to each bucket, right? Instead of saying, this will help you with your consulting business, we change that to, hey, this will help you with your software business, and so on, right? This will help you to overcome problem X versus problem Y, right? So that we talk to them directly, if that makes sense.
And what sorts of results are you seeing with this approach?
Yeah, so the best thing to do here is to go to wildaudience.com/love. It's basically a love page. You can scroll for probably 5 minutes. There's a lot of screenshots and videos. But basically what we get is the following. The average email open rate is between 20 and 30%, and we get average between 50 and 70%. So if you go through that page, you will see screenshots of customers and clients getting 7% open rates and so on. So above 50% is the average for Wild Audience customers instead of 20 to 25, right? Yeah. Click rates. Between normally an average 2 to 3%. Think about it. You get 30+%, right? Now think about it. If you send an email to 10,000 people, right, and you get 3% clicking from the email to the sales page, you expose 300 people, right, from 10,000 people, right? If you get 30% click rate, you expose way more people to your sales pitch. Now, guess what? It's just simple math that you will convert more. Even if the sales conversion rate is the same, you will convert more buyers because you have more people clicking and checking out your page because the engagement is key. And that's why we optimize our marketing, our messaging to get the right people engaged. We don't optimize to get everyone engaged, just the right ones, right? And that's how we do it.
That's fantastic. So, looking for one, if there's one thing for our listeners to think about conceptually based on what we've spoken about today, Bastian, what might that be?
The most important thing is the belief system. That's the most important thing. Surprisingly, many people have never heard about this belief system. It's basically, you have a belief system, I have a belief system, right? Edison has a belief system. What is a belief system? You have certain beliefs about certain things, and that's always based on experiences. You walk through life and something happens, right? Based on that experience, your brain tells a story, right? And this story will then be a belief. I believe X because I saw this, and this must be true. Right? And if you now, if you go to a supermarket and believe oranges are not good because you had a bad orange once and now you hate oranges, you will never go into the supermarket and buy an orange, right? So if I want to sell you that orange, I first need to see that you have a bad belief. It's called a false belief, and then break that false belief and reinstall the right one. Right? So you got to break the old one, the false one, then reinstall the right one. And that's what you do. As marketers, what are the certain beliefs? Break all the wrong ones and install the new ones. And then once you then expose them to the offer, you give them the opportunity to buy, right? And they actually believe what you have is what they need, right?
Well, Bastian, thanks so much for coming on. How can our listeners find out more about you and Wild Audience?
So the best thing is if you want to see this in action, right? If you like what we just talked about, what I suggest to do is to go to wildaudience.com/podcast, wildaudience.com/podcast, and basically you will arrive on a page. You can download an ebook which walks you through the entire process step by step. It will explain how to implement this, and then once you do this, my entire relationship funnel will actually play out, right? We'll roll out, you will see all these different emails, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, and everything will going to be customized to what you put into the segmentation process. So you will love it. So wildaudience.com/podcast.
And we'll get those links in the show notes as well if you pass those down, Bastian.
Awesome, Andy. Thanks so much.
And thanks to our audience for listening. Show notes are in the usual place, sitevisibility.co.uk/IamPodcast. If you're enjoying the show, please leave us a review. If you have questions or suggestions, the email is podcast@sitevisibility.co.uk. You can tweet @sitevisibility. We have a Site Visibility group on LinkedIn. So that's all from me, Andy. And it's all from Bastian.
Thanks so much, Andy. Ciao, ciao.
And we'll see you next time on Internet Marketing.